Hi there, welcome to Alchemy. This video we bring you the forecast for June for Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising sign. If you'd like to know how the month is gonna go, just carry on with the video. So this is a spread for Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising sign for the month of June 2019. If you have any doubts regarding your rising sign, I'm going to leave you a video. Even though it's in Portuguese, it's fairly easy to understand what's going on, where I show you how to make your own natal chart online and doing it for free. I also teach you how to see immediately your rising sign and your moon sign, okay? So it's pretty straightforward. If you're new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. So if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe and press the bell to be aware of when we have new videos on the channel. And of course, in the end, don't forget to give us a like, a thumbs up if you like the video. Also, please use the comment section to let us know anything that you'd like to, any opinions, any suggestions. We're more than happy to listen from you and to return your and to answer your comments if it's the case, if you pose any questions, for example. So let's start with the reading. As the energy for this month for Cancer, we have the Star. Right now I'm using the Ring Virtues Angel Tarot. So at the bottom of each card we have a small inscription giving us a little bit of information regarding each card. So I'm going to read these sentences to you so that you have as much information as possible for this spread, okay? So Archangel Jophiel comes as the Star and talks about happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans on the right path. And at the same time, it comes with the Knight of Water that talks about, if we are looking at a person, it would talk about someone emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative. And would be talking about falling in love or wedding proposals. The need to balance emotions, an invitation to a social event. So, how would this go as the energy of the month? I would say that with the card of the Star, you will have a very peaceful month. Usually the card of the Star, it's a card that talks about the peace that comes after a storm. It talks a lot about you feeling blessed, feeling well, feeling fulfilled, okay? Like the worst has gone by already. So usually it's a card that gives you a lot of peace of mind. Even though it's not the most positive card in the whole deck, it's a very positive card. It's a card that I usually call the card of the small blessings. Everything might seem like has been wrecked apart, but with this card you look and you see the light at the end of the tunnel and you see that there is hope. Coming with the Knight of Water, I would say that this month is a month where you need to focus mainly on your emotions, needing to balance those emotions. Emotions regarding your spiritual life, your physical life, your physical self, your work life, your love life. Whatever it is that you feel like your emotions are in a turmoil, you need to come to terms with it, okay? So that you can do the whole process of this month. Because as the challenge of the month, you have the card of the life experience. In this case, usually in most decks, this card is referred to as the Tower. The Tower is usually one of the most dreaded and most heavy cards of the, if not the heaviest card in the whole tarot deck, because usually it is the card that talks about something having to be undone for something else to be born from that. In this case, the card of the life experience comes with Archangel Chamuel and talks about a significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change, time to spread your wings, and comes with the Seven of Water that talks about a complex decision, the need to do research, and stop procrastinating. So how do these two combine? The card of the Tower, or the life experience in this case, it's a card that I usually talk about as the last resort of the universe. Meaning, I'll give you a practical example. I usually like to give practical examples so that you can understand this and look at this pattern in your life. Say that you've been in a job. You've been working that job for eons, you don't like it, you're just doing it for the money, you're not motivated by it. You had actually several options to go out. Situations where either you applied to a different job and it just didn't pay off that well, or situations where you were so fed up and your health gave up on you and you had to stay home and you really considered leaving the job, but then you thought, okay, but I need the money. For any different sort of reasons, or either I have debts or I'm used to it or whatever, you chose to stay in that job. And in the end, they don't, and even though you don't like it, you give your all, you give your best, and in the end, they just turn to you and say, hey, thank you, next. And you're like, okay, I've spent a lot of time in my life here, and they don't care about your efforts, okay? And all of a sudden you see that it was a waste of your own life. But you had to go through that moment, through that wake-up call. Otherwise, you would be still stuck there, okay? You had to be turned away from that job. You had to be fired for you to understand that that's not your place anymore, okay? Or if you are in a relationship, that relationship is not what it was anymore. That relationship is completely dead, but you're still insisting, either because of the kids, because of the money, because of the debts, because it's easier than to be alone. And one day, lo and behold, the other person just picks up and leaves. And all of a sudden you are alone, and then you think, why did I do this to my life? So this is the card where the universe takes matters into their own hands. The universe kind of takes the choice away from you because you weren't able to choose properly when given the options so many times, once and again. So in this case, this card comes with the Seven of Water, the card of choices of all of them. So the Seven of Cups, usually it's a card that talks a lot about choices. It's a card that usually talks about choices, having to choose between things that have a similar energy. Meaning, either choosing between several things that you really love and you don't know how to make that choice, or choosing between things that you really don't want to, but you have to try to choose the lesser evil, okay? So this card is a card that talks about choices, about complex decisions. And coming with the card of the Tower, I would say that you are going to experience changes this month, changes that will force you to make choices, and you don't want to do either. You don't want to change and you don't want to choose. You just want to stay in your blissful moment with the star, okay? So the challenge will be to see the blessing of the star in this turmoil of changes that may be coming to you, and also to balance your emotions throughout everything that you may be going through this month, okay? So now let's look at your love energy. So for love, we have the card of the Sun. It's the best card that could come out in a spread in tarot. The card comes with Archangel Uriel and talks about happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success, have confidence in yourself, and comes with the Five of Air that talks about an unwise choice, learn what you can from the situation, review everyone's motives. So what I would say is this: if you are in a relationship, be careful with what you say. Be careful with how you phrase with how you phrase your sentences. because something may arise that may create a fight, a discussion, something a little bit more crosswords may be said, and later on you might regret it. Okay, but in this case it would be, because it comes with the sun, I would say it's not something too bad, it's not something too catastrophic. It's just going to bring forth some thoughts and some feelings that might be a little bit unpopular. Let's put it like this. It may create a discussion, it may create a fight in your relationship, if you already have a relationship. Okay, I'm talking to those of you who have a relationship right now. So it may be the case that some crosswords come through, and that for you to achieve peace and for everything to be all right, you need to put yourself in someone else's shoes, in their shoes, because see here, review everyone's motives. It also may be the case that there is some external interference, someone who tried to speak a wise word, but nah. Bad words, bad timing, bad mojo, and all of a sudden everything got into a mess. All of a sudden everything got into a mess, and now you have to untangle it. I wouldn't say that it would be too bad, but it still, someone might be hurt from the words spoken. Okay, but overall it's a good month. Okay, so try to be gentle with your words. For those of you who are alone, well, with the card of the sun, I would say it's fairly possible for you to find someone this month. I would even say that it would begin with a little bit of a altercation because of different ideas. Either you go somewhere you are debating ideas, or you're talking to someone is presented to you in a group of friends, and they show their point of view, and it's so completely different from your own that an altercation arises, that you just start crossing words. Okay, and in the end you may see that this person may become a little bit more than what you were expecting. You would think about this person initially as someone a little bit arrogant, cocky, or just full of themselves, and after a while you find out that this person is nothing of the sort, and you develop here a good relation. Okay, so this may be the case for love for Cancer in this month. Then we go for money. For money, we come with the Empress. It's a great card to have in this area of life, because the Empress usually talks about abundance. The Empress is the energy of the earth at its best when it's producing the most lavish fruits, when it's giving you its best with its crops. Okay, so that's the image of the Empress. And in this case, it comes with the Archangel Gabriel and talks about lavish abundance, as we were saying. Give birth to your dreams, nurture yourself and others. And then it comes with the Ace of Air that talks about brilliant new ideas and inspirations, seeing the truth of a situation, a challenging beginning. So, how does this go together? I would say that with the Empress this month, even though you have stuff to pay, I would say that you still would have some money left that would make you feel a little bit more prosperous. Okay, coming with the Ace of Air, either you have new ideas for your business and you can generate more income, okay, or you can present new ideas to someone at your office and you get a bonus because of the results, or it may be the case that you just find a different way to make money, and some of your inspirations turn into a profitable turn some profit onto you. Okay, turn into a profitable venture. Sorry. It may also be the case that you see the truth in a situation, meaning you look at how you invest and you see a better way, a truthful way to invest, meaning you can cut the middleman, or you can find a way where you can bring some income back. If you are trying to begin something to give you to to give you an income. It may be a little bit difficult to start because the Ace of Air is exactly that. It talks about your mind, it talks about your ideas, so some stuff may still be kind of stuck at the idea realm and a little bit difficult to come to terms with reality. But with the Empress, I'd say that it may have a bumpy start, but in the end you can make everything come to life and to bring a profit out of it. So I'm not saying that this month you would have with the Empress, even though you're in a very magnetic place, I wouldn't see any money coming from, for example, a lottery ticket or one of those scratch tickets, but I would see some money coming from your ideas. Say that you want to start a podcast or you want to start something, and something to do with communication maybe, and it would be very, very profitable. Okay, so this month it would be a good month for you, because with the Empress, even though you still have bills to pay, you will have enough money left. That might be one of the cases with the Ace of Air here. You might have a great planning for this month for your money, and in the end you have more money left than you thought. Okay, so still on this one, something that just came to my mind might be the case that you may look through your expenses and all of a sudden see a couple of expenses that you thought that you had already that were already controlled, or that you had already stopped paying in your bank account, and all of a sudden you see the truth, you see that it is there, and you get rid of that, and so you get more money. Another thing that came to mind. So let's see about your health. Regarding your health, you have the Chariot and the Eight of Earth. So the card of the Chariot, it's a very positive card. It's usually a card that talks about movement. Something has to move to be good. In this case, it comes with Archangel Metatron, and it talks about an important achievement, self-discipline and willpower, and public recognition. The Eight of Earth talks about skilled work is rewarded, learning all there is to know about a topic, and going back to school. These two together, regarding your health, I would say you need to either hire a personal trainer or you need to go into physiotherapy or something, because the card of the Chariot is a card that, regarding your health, talks about a swift recovery. Swifter than you may think, easier than you may think, easier than anyone might have predicted. Okay? But it may involve movement for that recovery to happen. Say you have a pulmonary infection. You may need to do some breathing breath physiotherapy, so that you are guided with through physiotherapy through some exercises to increase your ability to breathe, to get rid of some of the accumulated mucus. So this is one example where you wouldn't think physiotherapy would play a part, and it would, and it can play a part. It may be the case that you feel like that you have pain in your joints, but after working out for a bit, all that you need to do is just that, work out, because you needed to give some more flexibility to your joints. You needed to do that accompanied with a personal trainer, so that you're doing it right. Okay, so this is how this would go. These two cards would go together. You need someone, a master, someone to teach you, someone to guide you through the process, through the meticulous process of the movement you need to do to achieve your recovery. Okay, if you're in a situation where recovery is not likely, at least you'll have a peak of stamina where you will feel better. Okay, so this is a very positive card for your health. Let's see then about your work, and this is where I say that this month will be the X of the question. The X marks the spot, because we have the card of the release. Sorry, the card of the release is usually called the card of death. and comes with Archangel Azrael and talks about the end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, and time to move on. And then it comes with the Six of Earth that talks about gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan, or paying off debts. So, how would these two go together? I would say that in your job, you need to change something. If you have a job, you may need to either change what you do, change your functions inside your company, the place where you work. Either change functions, change places. Let's say if you work in a big company, try to change for another office of the same company elsewhere, or a different part of that office. Change what you do there. You need to change something. Something needs to die, something needs to be released. It may be even the case that you need to drop some functions because some of the stuff that you're doing, because it's way too much for you, okay? Because it's time to move on. You're doing something that it's not fulfilling anymore. You're full of it, and you feel like it's time to let it go. And sometimes it's hard to do so because it's something that you're used to. Coming with the Six of Earth, this one talks about gifts of time, money, or effort. Maybe the case that you are trying to get something off the ground, and someone tells you, "Hey, I will stay with your kids so that you can work on your project," or you need a website, I'll do it for you, or you need a loan to get something off the ground, hey, you have it here. Or you need to change your job, but because this is eating you up, I'll loan you some money for you to keep afloat for a while until you find something else, okay? So in your career life, I believe that's where you're going to see the changes happening. And of course, these changes are going to reverberate throughout your whole life. But I think that this is going to be the spot where the changes will be more noticeable, okay? So, at the same time, I would say that for those of you who don't have a job and are seeking, carry on seeking, but you need to change the way you're doing it. Either change your resume, the appearance, what's in it, how you phrase it. It may be the case that you need someone to give you their time and effort and review that resume for you to find some errors that may be costing you the possibility to have a job, okay? You may change where you are looking for, to look in different cities, different places. You may need to change the area where you're looking for. By area, I mean, for example, if you're looking for jobs at restaurants, maybe the case that you need to look at jobs at shops instead of restaurants. You see, you change the area of expertise, you change what you're seeking, okay? So this is the case where you may need to make some changes. They are going to pay off later on, okay? You're going to be rewarded later on for your efforts right now, but I wouldn't see you getting a job this month. If it happens, it will be by the end of the month, okay, with the card of death, and possibly with someone showing up as one thing, and then they say, hey, look, actually we need you, but not for this specific job, but for something a little bit different, okay? So take a look at your options, okay? It's not a bad month. You just need to make some changes in how you are approaching this situation. Then we go for the spiritual area. In your spirituality, we have the Worlds and the Six of Fire. So, great cards. The card of the World comes with Archangel Michael and talks about a job well done, joy, contentment, and gratitude, the path towards enlightenment. What a card to get in the spiritual area. And then we get the Six of Fire that talks about victory, good news on its way, public recognition or awards. How do we say this? How do we see this? I would say that, first of all, to clarify, spirituality may come in so many different ways. For some people, a spiritual experience may be to paint a painting, or to write, or to go for a walk on the beach. For some other people, it might be going to the church. For some other people, it might be working as a volunteer. For some other people, it might be meditating. Okay, so you have a different range of what spirituality and spiritual life may mean. But in this case, I would say that either you are going to contact with someone from abroad that will open your horizons regarding your spiritual practices, whichever they may be, or you may be even traveling abroad, traveling somewhere else to develop your practices. It may also be the case with the Six of Fire that wherever you are going and to whomever you are talking, you may be seen as someone who is worthy of recognition, someone who knows a lot and has a lot to share. Okay, if you work as a volunteer as part of your spiritual experience, it may be the case that someone acknowledges your work or acknowledges your work in your spiritual community. So it may be the case that it also may be the case that you can put yourself out there in a place different than where you live, and show your work regarding to spirituality, and you have some good results. Okay, so in this case, you have an amazing energy for spirituality this month. Okay. And it's a good energy that allows you to expand, also to end the cycle and begin a new one with a lot more wisdom and knowledge. So let's see what do the Ascended Masters and the Isis Oracle have to tell you. So the Ascended Masters come with the card of the Twin Flame with Angus. And this card talks about relationships. So this card indicates twin flame relationship, which is the deepest form of romantic love. To form such a partnership, you must follow your inner guidance, learn personal growth lessons, and have patience with divine timing. Once twin flames find each other, everything in their life reaches new heights of love and light. Additional meanings for this card may be the person that you're inquiring about is your soulmate or twin flame. You will soon be with your twin flame. Keep your heart open, stay positive, and follow your guidance to manifest your prayers about your love life. Okay, so in this case, for those of you here in the realm of the sun, just learn those lessons that may come from these harsh words. Be careful with how you see your love life. Don't put such a weight on it, but be careful with affirmations and prepare yourself. If you are not in a relationship, prepare yourself to receive the best relationship ever possible. Okay, if you are in a relationship, try to see the other side and talk to that person and develop this relationship. Okay, because it may be the case that is a relationship that is a partnership for life, that will teach you personal growth lessons, that will teach you how to grow as a person, that will teach you how to use your gifts and how to be more in touch with yourself. Okay, then we have the Isis Oracle. The Isis Oracle from Elena Fairchild. I'm loving these cards nowadays. And they come with the Wings of Isis. And the Wings of Isis talk about uniting with the angelic self. You have a special spiritual relationship with the angelic worlds. Part of your soul purpose is to birth angelic consciousness and values such as fearlessness, compassion, and service into this human culture. This oracle brings you angelic assistance and intervention and confirmation that any impressions you may have that you belong not only to the human kingdom but also to the angelic one are correct. So, I have a special spiritual relationship with the angelic worlds and are helping to birth angelic qualities of fearlessness, light, service to the greater good, and alignment of divine will into human form. This is no small task, and although you are well equipped to succeed, there are beings that wish to assist you so that they may grow too, and your success may be more graceful and swift. Isis, divine winged mother, goddess, and angel of healing, wishes to assist you with unconditional love now. You are guided to accept angelic assistance and ask for Lady Isis, who loves you unconditionally, to assist you with integrating angelic energies into your consciousness and life. You'll be asked to lift yourself up to higher and higher vibrational states of awareness, and this may mean letting go of certain relationships, practices, or states of being, or even particular habits or thought patterns that would lower your vibration into fear, doubt, or shame. Give yourself permission to just let this happen. You do not need to force anything. It is a matter of softening, allowing, and trusting what feels right for you with absolute faith and bold, radical acceptance. It will be okay. So, this comes straight from this life experience card and straight from this release card. So this is an amazing advice coming for you from the Isis Oracle. So this is a spread that we have for you this month. Okay, I hope that you liked it, that it made sense to you, and that would be helpful. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell if you want to have a notification whenever we have new videos on the channel, and follow us on Instagram. We usually have a inspirational word every day for you. I hope to see you again in the next video then, and don't forget to leave us a comment on the comment section. Whatever you feel like, we are glad to hear from you. See you then.